Welcome to Night Whisper Tales.
Lira is a famous influencer who preaches female empowerment to millions. But her perfect life is a lie. She's the prisoner of a powerful werewolf, bound by a centuries-old curse symbolized by a necklace she can never remove. But tonight, she's going to try. Episode 1, The Gilded Cage. Lira, stunning in a shimmering gown, sat before the relentless glare of a ring light. Her face was a mask of perfect composure, broadcasting confidence to millions of followers in Aethelgard. Ladies, never settle for a man who doesn't see your worth. A red flag isn't a warning, it's a stop sign. Raise your standards, or the universe will do it for you. She flashed a practiced, flawless smile, and the comments section exploded with adoration. The lights went dark. Lira, alone, scrubbed off the makeup, her composure dissolving into exhaustion. A deep, hollow sadness settled in her eyes. Around her neck, a heavy, silver necklace, a gift from Kaelen, felt less like jewelry and more like a shackle. The front door opened. Kaelen, impossibly handsome, strode in, the faint scent of rain and another wolf clinging to his expensive suit. "Kaelen, where were you? You missed the gala." The sponsors were asking. Lira's voice trembled, betraying her carefully constructed facade. Kaelen coolly removed his jacket. "I was handling pack business, something you wouldn't understand. Your job is to look pretty and keep the human contracts flowing." His eyes fell on the necklace. "Good, you're wearing the anchor. Never take it off, it keeps you safe." Tears welled in Lira's eyes. "Safe? Kaelen, I can smell her on you. The lies. The pretense. I can't do this anymore." Kaelen stepped close, his eyes narrowing, the air crackling with a dark, magical energy. A low, dangerous growl vibrated in his chest. "You will. Because this isn't about me, Lira. This is about you." Episode 2, The Blood Debt. Kaelen's eyes flashed a terrifying, predatory gold. Lira stumbled back, hitting the cold wall. "What are you talking about?" she whispered. Kaelen's voice was soft, dangerously so. "The universe is correcting a wrong, my love. You think you're a victim? You were a thief, a betrayer. Centuries ago, your bloodline stole something precious from mine. A power, a life." He grabbed her wrist, his grip like iron. "This isn't infidelity, Lira. This is a blood debt curse. I am the vessel of the fates, and my actions are the payment. Every moment of pain you feel, every lie you tell, every tear you cry, it's a drop of the debt being repaid." "That's insane! You're a monster!" Lira struggled against him. A cruel smile stretched Kaelen's lips. "I am a necessary evil, and I will stay with you, Lira, until the curse consumes you entirely, until you are nothing but a beautiful, empty shell. I'm helping you, my queen. I'm seeing you through your destiny." He released her, leaving a dark bruise on her skin, and walked away. Lira stood paralyzed, staring at the silver necklace. It was a shackle. High above the city, on a shadowed rooftop, a lone figure watched. Zane, rugged and intense, was not of Aethelgard. His expression was a mix of fierce determination and deep concern as he watched the window of Lira's apartment. Episode 3, The Northern Shadow. Lira's hands shook as she tried to work, her focus shattered. She researched ancient werewolf lore, searching for any mention of blood debt curses. The results were vague, filled with terrifying legends of power-draining bonds. She touched the silver necklace. It was cold, heavy. He was right. The curse was real. But the legends spoke of a loophole. A way to break the anchor. Desperate for air, Lira walked through a public park, disguised in a large hat and sunglasses. She felt eyes on her. She stopped by a fountain. Zane sat on a bench nearby, carving a piece of dark wood with a hunting knife. He looked like he belonged in the wild, not this manicured city. Without looking up, Zane spoke. "The glamour is strong, but the scent of fear is stronger." Lira froze. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said defensively. Zane finally looked up, his eyes a startling deep amber. You're Lira, the Alpha's mate. You preach freedom, but you wear his chains. That silver around your neck isn't an accessory, it's an anchor. And it's killing the wolf inside you. Lira clutched the necklace. How do you know that? I know your bloodline, I know the debt. And I know the power you're letting him steal. You're not just his prisoner, Lira. You're his battery. He stood, his presence commanding. You have a choice. Stay and fade, or fight and transform. He dropped a small, carved wooden wolf at her feet and disappeared into the crowd. Episode 4, The Anchor. Lira held the small wooden wolf. It radiated a faint, warm energy, the complete opposite of the cold silver anchor. She tried to remove the necklace, but it burned her skin. It's bonded to me. She remembered Kaelen's chilling command, never take it off. A brief, terrifying vision flashed through her mind. A woman who looked exactly like Lira, dressed in ancient robes, screaming as a dark ritual was performed. A drop of her blood fell onto a silver amulet, which was then placed around her neck. The woman's eyes flashed a primal gold before dimming. Lira woke up, gasping. The dream felt real. She knew the necklace was the key to the curse. She crept to Kaelen's private study, a room she was forbidden to enter, and used a small enchanted hairpin to pick the lock. Inside, the room was dark, filled with ancient texts and maps. She found a hidden journal. Kaelen's journal, his true self. She flipped through the pages, finding a section detailing the curse. It confirmed Zane's words. The anchor must be broken by a true mate's touch or a primal surge of the cursed wolf's own power. The door creaked open. Kaelen stood there, his face a mask of cold fury. Looking for something, Lira? Episode 5, The Forbidden Alliance. Kaelen strode toward Lira. She quickly slammed the journal shut, but the fear in her eyes was a clear confession. You're pushing your luck. The debt is high, but my patience is finite. He didn't mention the journal, only stared at the necklace. He knew she was close to the truth. Go back to your ring light. The full moon is in 3 days. I need you rested. He left. Lira collapsed, clutching the journal. She knew she had to act now. Using the wooden wolf as a beacon, Lira met Zane at an abandoned warehouse. The air was cold, charged with the scent of ozone and wet earth. I know about the curse. The anchor. I know I have to break it, she said desperately. And you came to me. Why? Zane's amber eyes were intense. Because you saw the wolf. Kaelen only sees the debt. Tell me what I need to do. Zane stepped closer, his shadow enveloping her. The curse is a bond of false power. To break it, you need a bond of true power. A true mate bond. I don't understand. The curse is designed to prevent your true wolf from awakening. But the moment you accept your true self, the anchor will weaken. I can help you awaken it. But it will be painful. And Kaelen will know the instant it happens. He reached out, his fingers brushing the silver anchor. It sizzled faintly. Are you ready to risk everything for a freedom you've only preached about? Episode 6. The Primal Hunger. Lira paced her apartment, the wooden wolf clutched in her hand. She hadn't slept. Zane's touch had ignited something. A deep, burning hunger I couldn't name. It wasn't for food, it was for the moon. She looked in the mirror. Her eyes were bloodshot, but a faint, golden ring now encircled her iris. Later, at an Aethelgard fashion show, Lira and Kaelen were the guests of honor. Lira struggled to maintain her influencer facade, but the noise and the crowd were overwhelming her senses. Kaelen, smiling for the cameras, leaned in, his voice tight. You look pale, Lira. Don't embarrass me. Suddenly, a waiter dropped a tray of glasses. The sound was deafening. Lira's vision tunneled. She smelled the fear of the humans, the sweat of the wolves, and the overpowering scent of Kaelen's dominance. Her fingernails elongated slightly, tearing the silk of her glove. She quickly hid her hand. The primal hunger. It was starting. She rushed to the restroom, splashing cold water on her face. The golden ring in her eyes was brighter. She heard a faint, distant howl. Not yet, not here. She opened the door and ran straight into Zane. He was not supposed to be here. Kaelen knows you're stirring, he's watching. We have to move the plan up. The moon is too close, Zane urged. I can't control it. I'm losing time, Lira breathed heavily. Then let it go. Let the wolf out. Kaelen's voice boomed from the hallway. Lira, where are you? Episode 7, The Alpha's Trap. Lira shoved Zane into a shadowed alcove just as Kaelen rounded the corner. Kaelen smiled smoothly. There you are. You look flushed. Too much human attention? Just a little overwhelmed. I needed air. Lira composed herself. Kaelen's eyes scanned the alcove, but Zane was a master of shadow. Kaelen didn't see him, but he smelled the faint, unfamiliar scent of a powerful rogue. I've arranged a special live stream for you tomorrow, a sponsored post about our perfect bond. It will solidify our standing. Don't disappoint me. Lira realized this was the trap. He was forcing her into the spotlight, knowing she was unstable. He wasn't just controlling me, he was setting the stage for my public destruction. Lira met Zane later that night. He wants me to break in front of the world. He wants the debt paid in public humiliation. Then we use his stage, Zane countered. The anchor is strongest when you are performing the lie. We break it during the stream. It will be the ultimate rejection of his power. How? The true mate bond. It's the only force stronger than the curse. I need to touch the anchor while your wolf is fighting the glamour. It will be a shock. A risk. He looked at her, his amber eyes full of raw emotion. But if it works, you'll be free, and you'll be mine. Episode 8. The Betrayal. The live stream was set up. Kaelen watched from the background with a cold, expectant smile. Lira forced a smile into the camera. Welcome back, my loves. Today, Kaelen and I are talking about the foundation of a truly unbreakable bond. She glanced at the window. Zane was on the adjacent rooftop, waiting. Lira began to talk about trust and sacrifice, the words tasting like ash. She subtly touched the anchor, channeling the primal hunger. Her hands shook. Kaelen stepped into the frame, putting his arm around her. Lira is right. A true bond requires sacrifice, and sometimes the universe demands a price. He subtly tightened his grip, feeding the anchor with his alpha power. Lira gasped, the pain blinding. She whispered a prearranged code word into the camera. The Stone Age. Kaelen laughed, a cruel, triumphant sound. The debt is due, Lira. Suddenly, Zane burst through the balcony doors. Kaelen whirled around, his perfect facade shattering into a snarl. Zane, you dare trespass! Now! Zane shouted to Lira. He lunged, not at Kaelen but toward Lyra's neck. Kaelen intercepted him, and the two alphas collided in a brutal, primal fight. The camera was still rolling, broadcasting the chaos to all of Aethelgard. Episode 9. The Transformation. The fight was a blur of claws and teeth. Kaelen, fueled by the curse's power, was stronger. Zane, driven by protective rage, was faster. Kaelen threw Zane across the room. Zane hit the wall, momentarily stunned. Kaelen turned his fury on Lira. You chose a rogue over your destiny. You will pay the full price. He reached for the anchor, intending to rip it off and let the curse consume her instantly. Lira screamed, a sound that was no longer human. The pain was unbearable, but it was a release. The primal hunger surged, no longer a whisper but a roar. I was not a victim. I was not a battery. I was a wolf. The silver anchor, overloaded by the conflicting forces of the curse and her awakening power, began to glow a searing red. Lira grabbed the necklace with both hands and pulled. The silver burned her skin, but she didn't stop. With a final, guttural cry, she snapped the chain. The anchor shattered into 1,000 pieces. A shockwave of pure, untamed magic ripped through the apartment. Lira collapsed, her body racked by a violent, bone-shifting transformation. Her clothes tore. Her eyes blazed with a fierce, golden light. She was no longer the polished influencer. She was the latent she-wolf, fully awakened. She rose, not as a human, but as a powerful, magnificent wolf, her fur the color of midnight. She faced Kaelen, a terrifying snarl on her lips. Episode 10, The True Mate's Choice. The live stream camera was knocked over, showing only the ceiling, but the audio was crystal clear. Kaelen, momentarily stunned by Lira's transformation, shifted into his own monstrous alpha form. You cannot escape your debt. I will claim your power. Lira, now a fully realized wolf, was faster, fueled by centuries of suppressed rage. She fought with a ferocity Kaelen never anticipated. Zane, recovering, shifted into his wolf form and joined the fray. The two true mates fought side by side, a symphony of primal power against Kaelen's dark, cursed strength. Lira realized the curse was not just in the anchor, it was in Kaelen's very soul. She knew she couldn't kill him without becoming consumed by the same darkness. She looked at Zane. Their eyes met a silent, powerful communication of the true mate bond. Lira used her newly awakened magic, a wave of pure, golden energy, to sever the last vestiges of the blood debt curse from Kaelen's spirit. Kaelen screamed as his power was ripped away. He shrank, his alpha form collapsing into a weak, whimpering human. Lira, he whimpered. Lira stood over him, the victorious alpha. She looked at the shattered camera, then at Zane, and let out a triumphant, liberating howl. The sun rose over Aethelgard. Lira and Zane, both in human form, stood on the balcony. The apartment was a wreck, but they were free. The debt is paid. You are free, Lira, Zane said. No, I am Lira, and I choose my own destiny. She turned to Zane, a genuine, powerful smile on her face. Come with me. The true story begins now. They shared a passionate kiss as the sun bathed the city in golden light.